वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपां बुद्धिर्यतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Warm welcome everyone in this study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we'll continue our study from chapter 18, text 4 onwards today. And as we have been continuing chapter entitled, The Conclusion, Perfection of Renunciation. And again, in the introduction itself, Prabhupada gave us the conclusion. Introduction itself. See, in science we see now what that there's some theorem given that proves that left hand side is equal to right hand side. Prove that this equation is equal to this. Prove that a plus b whole square is equal to this. That sort of thing. So which means what? Okay, the solution is there. Yes, it is. It is a fact. Prove that this is equal to this, and now just work out the process. Now, can you work out the process how to attain it, how to come to that conclusion? So, in the introduction itself, Prabhupada gave us the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. What? That become a devotee of Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Likewise, in life also proved that, na? So, that everything is there given to all of us. कृष्ण नित्य सिद्ध कृष्ण प्रेम साध्य कभी न श्रवण आदि शुद्ध चित्त करे उदय. So this is Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema. We all are eternally Krishna conscious, believe it or not. Every one of us. We all are. We all share an eternal bond with Krishna since eternity. Um, Eternal relationship which can never be cut. No. There's this a king, Akbar and Birbal, very popular, some stories and good moral learnings from those stories. Akbar and Birbal pastimes. Prabhupada also used to share, I believe, some Akbar Birbal pastimes. So once Akbar, he banished one person from his kingdom, or he threatened to banish. He threatened a person that if you again commit a crime, then I will exile you, I will banish you from my kingdom. And all those, my kingdom meaning all those kingdoms wherein I have my sovereignty, wherein I have my rule, wherever I rule. Hmm. So practically from the land all over the globe, say, I will banish you. So Birbal then jokingly, the minister, he was very close. So he had this relationship with the Akbar that he could joke with him. And jokingly, but giving a message, he said, "Wow, Mr. King, you are you are you are more powerful than the Supreme Personality of Godhead." So Akbar asks, "What do you mean?" And I know you are mocking me, you are joking, making fun of me. What do you mean? Well, this statement which you just made, that if you commit crime, then I will banish you from my kingdom altogether. Uh, you can make this, but Krishna cannot make this statement. If someone commits a crime, where can Krishna banish him? Say? So Krishna is there everywhere, everywhere. So we all are actually surrendered to Krishna, every one of us. Uh, But just style is different. Our surrender style of surrender is different. We are surrendered to the material energy of Krishna. And now is an opportunity for us to surrender unto the internal energy of Krishna. So far, we have been mostly heavily entangled with Mahamaya, material energy. And now life gives us an opportunity, especially taking devotee association, sadhu sangha. In good devotee association, we can transform ourselves to Yoga Maya under the care and shelter of Yoga Maya, the internal potency of the Lord. And Yoga Maya is doing all the arrangements. Such a servant of Krishna says, such a devotee of Krishna, she does all the arrangements behind the curtain. Everything, uh, all the energies are finely tuned, working to bring joy to the divine couple. And they need more and more souls like us for engagement and for help, support, and for again, it's not like that Krishna is in need of help or Yogmaya is in need of help. No, we will be very helped if we get an engagement in the eternal pastime of Krishna. But yes, uh, Krishna, it's not like he's lacking without us being in the eternal pastimes of Krishna. But of course, he's wanting some new and new rasa. So, us, by entering into the eternal realm, we can provide a variety of rasa to Krishna, variegatedness, a variety of rasa to Krishna. And our all mood, our all contemplation should be what? Towards seva, towards service. And service what? To bring the divine couple together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So our Acharya also says, see, Hare Krishna, means the divine couple are together. Krishna Krishna means separate. Hare Hare, separate, separate. Hare Rama, again together, together. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, again separate, separate. So although we understand that love in separation is the highest, especially in this Bhauma Vrindavan Parakya Bhav, but our aspiration should never be okay, Krishna, we will give you the highest love by separating you from Radharani. And Radharani will give you the highest joy, love by experience, make you experience the highest love by separating you from Krishna. No. So our meditation contemplation should always be for service and how do we serve the divine couple? That should be. All the prayers, even what we sing of Acharyas, is aimed towards this. Mora Eya Vilas, Vilas Kunjati Yovas. Morning we sing na Tulasi prayer in temples, it is sung. In homes also those who sing. Mora Eya Vilas, Vilas Kunjati Yovas. Nayane Heribo Sada Yugala Rupparasi. So never ever actually this is asked that why do you want entrance or a residence in Golok Vrindavan? So that Nayane Heribo Sada Yugala Ruparase to drink the nectar of your beauty, divine beauty from my eyes. That so never ever actually this prayer is said, oh, kindly take me shelter or let me in the internal eternal realm, any of the Vaikuntha planets. Why? Because I'm suffering a lot here. That is not the motivation. See, this birth, death, old age, disease. I'm frustrated with this. So what? So what? Oh, until and unless there is a spiritual awakening, until and unless there is a spiritual awakening, doesn't matter how much we are frustrated. So attachment has to be built towards Krishna. Spiritual awakening has to, real call has to come about. We have to be crying for that. then yes, Krishna will take us seriously. If our prayers is all based, okay, there's so much of tension in this material world. There's always every step danger and all. Krishna, I'm through, I'm done with it. Many times we say, no, out of frustration, oh, material world, I'm done with it. No more. Why? When we are suffering with problem. But when things change a bit, when day is sunny and we are in good mood, then we do not say like that. Then we relish a lot, enjoy a lot. So Krishna understands. So in our prayers should all be a hankering, a desire to have direct darshan of the divine couple and to serve the divine couple. And furthermore, we cry for that spiritual awakening. Krishna consciousness is not for show, it is not a contemporary or some sort of religion in that sense. No. We are not here to just for purification or to look be religious. No. And we have no competition with any religion or anything for that matter. No. We are here after only for attainment of Krishna. Why do you want to become a pure devotee? To attain Krishna. Otherwise, what have you got to do with purity as such now? It's only because purity attracts Krishna, we want to be very pure and call out in that purity. So whatever we do, we can be a bit more conscious to it in our reading, hearing, japa, check ourselves, be more introspective, and best is if we can take good association. Everything will come about in good association. So with this mood, prayer, hope, aspiration, aim, we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18 and text 4. निश्चयं शीनु मे तत्र त्यागे भरत सत्तम त्यागो हि पुरुष व्याघ्र त्रिविध संप्रकाकिरित. Paper translation purpose.
O best of the Pharisees, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds. Purport. Although there are differences of opinion about renunciation, here the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, gives his judgment, which should be taken as final. After all, the Vedas are different laws given by the Lord. Here, the Lord is personally present, and his word should be taken as final. The Lord says that the process of renunciation should be considered in terms of the modes of material nature in which it is performed. Translation. O best of the Pharisees, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds.
Okay, let us read a bit more actually and then see. So let us read text 5 as well. यज्ञदान तप कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञदानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्. Gopal, would you be okay to read translation purpose?
Okay, King.
Okay. If you like read in Spanish, you can read in Spanish.
Okay. Let me get the thing in Spanish.
Or Renas, if you can change it in Spanish in your screen. Yeah.
Los actos de sacrificio.
Oh, it's because two instruments are next to each other, there's going to be echo, huh?
Los actos de sacrificio, caridad y penitencia no se deben abandonar. Dichos actos se deben llevar a cabo. En verdad, el sacrificio, la caridad y la penitencia purifican incluso a las almas, a las grandes almas. Significado. Los yogis deben realizar actos en aras del progreso de la sociedad humana. Existen muchos procesos purificatorios para hacer que un ser humano adelante hacia la vida espiritual. La ceremonia de matrimonio, por ejemplo, se considera que es uno de esos sacrificios. Esa ceremonia se denomina vivaha yajna. Debe un sanyasi patrocinar la ceremonia de matrimonio, pese a que él está en la orden de vida de renuncia y ha abandonado sus relaciones familiares. El Señor dice aquí que cualquier sacrificio que sea por el bien de la humanidad jamás se debe abandonar. El vivaha yajna, la ceremonia de matrimonio, tiene por objetivo regular la mente humana de modo de que pueda apaciguarse para el adelanto espiritual. En caso de la mayoría de los hombres, ese vivaha yajna se debe fomentar y ello lo deben hacer incluso las personas que están en la orden de vida de renuncia. Los sannyasis nunca se deben juntar con mujeres, pero eso no significa que aquel que está en la etapa inferiores de la vida, un joven, no debe aceptar una esposa en la ceremonia de matrimonio. Todos los sacrificios prescritos son para llegar al Señor Supremo. Por consiguiente, en las etapas inferiores no se los debe abandonar. De igual manera, la caridad es para la purificación del corazón. Si la caridad se les da a personas idóneas, tal como se describió antes, esa caridad lo llevará a uno a la vida espiritual superior.
Translation again, please.
Los actos de sacrificio, caridad y penitencia no se deben abandonar. Dichos actos se deben llevar a cabo en verdad. El sacrificio, la caridad y la penitencia purifican incluso a las grandes almas.
Haribol!
Ay, boy.
Good job.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, sacrifice, charity, penance, they are not to be given up. They must be performed, and they purify even the great souls. So, Krishna consciousness is a path of. So, this is a question. Krishna consciousness a path of perfection or of excellence? Is Krishna consciousness a path of perfection or excellence?
I would guess part of perfection. Yeah.
Path of perfection?
Yeah.
Krishna consciousness is a path of excellence, ever growing, ever excelling. In perfection, there comes an element of what that I become perfect, or this is perfect. Means like very less scope for doing anything more to it. Perfection can make us stagnant. And in Krishna consciousness, there is no stagnation. Perfect means, okay, this is perfect, nothing more required. So I've done my duty perfectly. I've done my best. I can do no more better than. This is the best japa I can chant. This is the perfect japa for me. I cannot make any more improvements in this japa. There is no more improvement required or scope. Huh? But no, ever excelling. Anandam buddhi vardhanam. Na? Ever growing, ever increasing, ever excelling. That is Krishna consciousness. We have to be always keep on growing. That is the message of Trinadapi Sunichena as well. Amanina Mandana Kirtanya Sadahari. So now for it to be Sadahari means it has to be always excelling. If we think of perfection, if we aim for perfection in Krishna consciousness, then we won't be coming to Kirtanya Sadahari platform. Because there will come, definitely a point will come in life then. Okay, I have kind of made it. This is the best. Yes, I've done the best Krishna consciousness. But Mahaprabhu says what? Kirtanya Sadahari. Always, always glorifying. Always glorify Krishna, never forget Krishna. No? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Which means in a path of excellence, when we are always trying to excel in Krishna consciousness, we will be humble. We'll try to maintain humility. Because we know, okay, we can, well, see, we can never afford to carry any iota of pride in us until and unless we have had direct darshan of Krishna. We cannot have any iota of pride in us until and unless we are accepted by Krishna in the eternal engagement, eternal pastime. So before that, there should be no scope for pride. And after that, this is a question then. Can there be a scope for pride after that? So before Krishna accepts us in the eternal pastime, there should be no scope for pride. Before we get direct darshan of Krishna and direct seva in eternal pastimes of Krishna, there should be no scope for pride. But suppose someone, blessed soul, had direct darshan of Krishna and been accepted by Krishna in the eternal pastimes, then can he afford to be proud? Then can he have pride? Pride has to be given up. Pride given up in the sense this material, egoistic, self-centered, driven pride. But we have to carry this pride. We have to come to this pride that Krishna, you are ours. That pride has to stay, that has to be built up, and that has to stay firmly in our consciousness if we want to attain Krishna. The sooner we realize that we should be left with no other option or choice other than attainment of Krishna. And these are not just in words or in theory. This should be for real. This should be our real aim, hankering, desire. And even though we may not be situated in our sadhana in that level, in that mood, and even though we may not have a strong desire or inclination, but still we must force ourselves, we must push ourselves, and we must theorize. At least in theory, we must encourage, we must give ourselves this message. How many times of the day do we check that, okay, what is Krishna doing now? Where would he be? What would he be doing now? You know, parents say, father, he goes away for business, say business tour, and when he's away in the business tour, during his office hours or after his office hours, say, if he sees some young boy, young children playing, naturally he thinks of his child. Naturally. Oh, my children would also be playing now. And even if without seeing, still it goes in his head, oh, my children must be coming from school now, and they must be having their lunch, must be going for homework or tuitions or playing. So likewise, we also need to, it should not be, to begin with, things are okay, but later on and sooner the better. Our all practice and meditation, it should not be like a process-oriented thing. It should be natural call, natural hankering, natural inclination of the soul proper to get direct darshan of Krishna, to get seva of Krishna in the eternal realm, eternal pastimes. So sacrifice, charity and penance, they purify even a purified person. Someone may be purified, someone may deem himself herself to be purified. Purified means what? Like in the mode of goodness. Mode of goodness means what? Freedom from the influence of passion and ignorance. Okay. But still free from the influence of passion and ignorance, come to goodness. But that goodness is still not good enough. Na utpadayat yadi ratim shramevai kevalam. Until and unless we attain attachment towards the lotus feet of Krishna, it is all a useless labor, waste of labor. No learning. One may think, okay, at least in the process. No, no. Another question say, we're practicing Krishna consciousness. What are we after? After Krishna or after learnings? Practicing Krishna consciousness, what are we after? After attaining Krishna or after learning more principles, teachings, and messages and morality?
Attaining Krishna.
Attaining Krishna. We are after that. That is our main, that is our only agenda. We do not have anything personal to do with learning and societal behavior and norms now. So we've tried to find a devotee in our life, eh, spend time with the devotee, and then advance in the practice of Krishna consciousness. Read, hear, chant, go in that repeat loop. And reading, hearing, chanting, they all should be like vision oriented, some purpose, some aim driven, which will give us that motivation to continue. Otherwise, just casual reading, just casual hearing here and there is not going to really help us out. We don't know how heavily conditioned we are. We do not know what sort of package we are carrying within ourselves. And we don't need to know also. It's not that important. What is important is knowing Krishna, and then once we know Krishna to some extent, we'll try to fall in love with him. We will fall in love with him. So Krishna is here saying, like, do not think that one been practicing for 20 years and 30 years, say 40 years, then he doesn't need to read Bhagavad Gita or he doesn't need to come to temple, take darshan. No. Great souls or any souls, if they get an opportunity to serve, to serve the uh, elevated Vaishnavas, to serve the Lordship, they should embrace it altogether. As sadhakas, whatever we do, our studies, jobs, and all, we should be very smart, intelligent. That this study and job and other engagements, what we have, say business, house, family, they should all be just for the namesake uh, to connect with the material world. But our heart's position and attachment and all should be at the towards where. So this. Like we discussed, na, the fruit of sadhana, the fruit of sadhana is what? To help us lead to Guru Padashraya, take initiation. And the fruit of initiation is what? Krishna Prem. So we should never consider, okay, we've been practicing for what many days, months, years, and this is now for newcomers. I don't need to do many such austerities and all. No. We should always remember we are almost there, but not yet fully there. We have not yet made it. So we cannot afford to have any amount of pride. And once we make it, then naturally we will not be pride. Because it is one who is humble only can make it all the way through. So until then we continue with our minimum intelligence faculty, whatever is given to us, and we try to use it in the service of Krishna. Until then we read, hear, chant, and try to develop and build a mood and see where Krishna takes us. So it is a path of excellence, not perfection. In Krishna consciousness one can begin, but one can never stop. It should never be stopped. In Krishna consciousness, no. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments?
We see in some pastimes in Bhagavatam that when a devotee gets darshan of the Lord, darshan, then like often you can follow a fall down can follow. So like Prajapati Daksha in Canto 6, for example, he got darshan of the Lord, and then a lot of pride came. But I would have thought that to get darshan of the Lord requires a certain amount of purity.
Nice question. Yeah, it does. It does. So, is this the question that how come, say, Prajapati Daksh and also maybe some other place also we see someone had darshan of the Lord, but still like later on got pride came.
Yeah.
And how can one have darshan of the Lord unless one is fully free of pride? Nice question. Renas, Gopal, did you hear the question? Were you able to hear? What Pip was mentioning? Or at least are you able to hear me?
Sorry, Prabhu, can you repeat the question?
Are you able to hear me, and were you able to hear what Pip was saying?
I think there was some background noise. It was quite hard to hear, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So question is like, say Daksh Prajapati Daksh, he got darshan of Lord Vishnu, but yet even after getting darshan of Lord Vishnu, he committed some offenses or mistakes, say for that matter. And how is it like? It is generally understood that only pure devotee can get darshan. And once got darshan, then how can one possibly go down? So problem like in this instance with Daksha was, yes, he got darshan. He helped, he wanted to help create progeny and all, but he never desired what? Association of the Lordship. He never desired that. He never asked for eternal engagement or engagement in the eternal pastime. No. That okay, Krishna, you want progeny to be created, and I will help you in that. Give me this portfolio. So wanting a seva in this material world, is that good? Good to want. Wanting service, but where in this material world, which is always troublesome, uh, always difficult, always dangerous, always on the decline and all. So no, that's like carrying some hidden agenda in between. Okay, Krishna, I know you want this to be done, and I'm attached to this, so let me do this. But yet, Krishna gives darshan based on what? Not based on sadhaka's efforts as such. Sadhaka's effort is taken into consideration, is there, his desire, willingness, but more on what? The blessings he has attained from Vaishnavas, from Brahmanas. Then Krishna becomes pleased and becomes available. So he becomes available, but then If we do not ask for eternal service and engagement in the eternal realm, then okay, it was nice meeting you. For us practicing Krishna consciousness, a very thunderstorm-like message would be hearing from Krishna that all right, you are on your own now. That would be should be very like striking, thunder strike sort of for us. So we should never in our sadhana, in our practice of Krishna consciousness, we should never try to, a conditioned soul should never try to take things in his hands, matters in his hands. No. If he takes things or matters in his hands, then he is going to make a mistake only. A conditioned sadhaka. When he thinks, okay, yes, now I have to act. If I do not, who is no. We say another question oriented. We we actually want to be inspired by Krishna. We want to be used by Krishna. We don't want to force ourselves upon Krishna. We want to be allowed to be used by Krishna. That is the thing. So it is seen yes in Bhagavatam devotees who have had darshan of Lord Vishnu of Krishna say, but because they did not ask for that eternal seva, fine. Krishna says, okay, so be it. You want this world, seva in this world, continue, fine. And once your spiritual thirst, your spiritual inquiry, your spiritual awakening has fully awakened, once you realize that you cannot live without me, then fine, I will come again. But until then, if you feel happy, then yeah, be happy with what you desire. That's the answer. Anything else?
Yeah, actually, this mood, like, what is it in the Sikshastakam, regardless of where you want me to go, I'll go there. Like, obviously, that's a very high level of surrender. Could you just talk about this in light of what you just spoke about?
Yeah, similarly, we do not want to impose ourselves upon Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No? He is the independent authority. And it suits him. And Krishna will be more relaxed when we let him to be the independent authority. So we do not want to impose ourselves upon Krishna. But at the same time, we cry that Krishna, we are incomplete without you. So from our part, we make all efforts, we show our dedication, sincerity, our genuineness, our willingness. But we do not impose ourselves. No, in societal life also, no one likes imposement. When someone is imposing me, okay, sign this check for me, approve this bill for me, do this for me. Don't do. I'm telling you, do it. So when things are imposed, it doesn't come across gentle. But at the same time, if we are casual, then okay, why would Krishna want to have us if we don't want him? And if we want him, we cannot be casual. And if we want him, then we can show him that yes, we are patient as well. We are willing, and at the same time, we are patient as well. It is, of course, by your blessings, by your mercy only. But we mean it, we really want it. Until and unless Yogmaya gets our trust, we cannot be transferred. We cannot be transferred. That trust. In societal also, no, this is how things work. Does it not? Like say transferring money. Huh? So you give some user ID, password, then OTP is raised and all. Okay, yes, bank has done some internal checks and their trust is met. Yes, okay, it's the right person. fine, we transfer the amount. So until and unless Yogmaya, we come into the fully under the trust, care, shelter, check of Yogmaya, then we cannot be uh, having a more direct relationship with Krishna.
Give relationship.
Haribol. Okay, let us see next. एतानि अपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्. Read a sweet translation purport.
Translation. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty, O son of Pritha. That is my final opinion. Purport. Although all sacrifices are purifying, one should not expect any results by such a performance. In other words, all sacrifices which are meant for material advancement in life should be given up, but sacrifices that purify one's existence and elevate one to spiritual plane should not be stopped. Everything that leads to Krishna consciousness must be encouraged. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also it is said that any activity which leads to devotional service to the Lord should be accepted. That is the highest criterion of religion. A devotee of the Lord should accept any kind of work, sacrifice, or charity which will help him in the discharge of devotional service to the Lord. Translation. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. O son of Pritha, that is my final opinion.
What is Krishna's final opinion is actually conclusion. Should actually be the conclusion. And it is his humility that he says, okay, that's my final opinion. Yeah. We all are very opinionated. We want things to be the way they have to be, or we would like them to be. And we want people to act in a way, certain way. But Krishna gives us kind of full freedom because he loves us unconditionally. So he gives us full freedom. And this charity, penance, austerity, basically our whole existence, our lifetime, sadhaka should realize, practicing Krishna consciousness, one should realize that life is meant to serve. That there is higher joy in serving than receiving. Furthermore, ours is a vicarious enjoyment. We are not the primary enjoyers. Primary enjoyer are Radha Krishna. They are the primary enjoyer. And the eternal associates of Krishna. The relationship spiritual master and Krishna share. So they are the primary enjoyer. And we are secondary enjoyer. Our enjoyment is in the enjoyment of the divine couple. If the divine couple are in separation, then we are not happy. We are not at all happy. And when they are in union, we are extremely happy. So primary enjoyer, we are not the primary enjoyer. We are facilitator. We are like secondary enjoyer. So sooner we realize better that life is meant to serve the whole our existence, our speech. Practicing Krishna consciousness, our speech will change definitely. Once one starts doing japa mala, then one will naturally stop using swear words, saying swear words, abusing language, is eating, sleeping, all habits will change. His vision will improve. Vision as in not eyesight, uh, but vision as in perspective of seeing things and the identity and with what consciousness, what notion, what belief, what uh, vision, what desire, what length. He sees people and objects will be very different. So practicing Krishna consciousness, we should, the world knows, but at theory level. Everyone in the world knows material attachments or attachments not good or expectation of result, but just at theory level. See, until and unless there is good devotee association, then real knowledge will not stay. It might come to us, but very soon it will go away as well. It won't be, we won't be able to hold it until and unless we have good devotee association. So we need good devotee association. We need some higher engagement purpose, na? Otherwise, how can we not perform activity without attachment or without expectation of result? There has to be some motivation. And now the motivation in life is what? To transform ourselves from expect. What is the opposite of expectation of result? And don't say no expectation of result. Or say something else. What is the opposite of expectation of result? It need not necessarily be a proper opposite also, but
desire for some result.
expectation of result is one thing, another is acceptance of result. When we live life acceptance, na, that is like coming under a no complaint zone in that shelter. And one who lives life expectation, oh, very difficult then, very difficult. Very uncertainty then. And one who lives life acceptance mode, very peaceful, very calm, very stable. And until and unless we become equipoised, how can we actually advance in Krishna consciousness? We cannot. Result is bound to be there, result is going to come. Because this is a mortal world, no? This is the world of action. So action means some result must be there, will be there. Now Bhagavad Gita teaches us this science, this art, how to actually act, how to live, how to act, so that some result also come, but we do not get any implicated by it. No sinful reaction and no even good reaction we want. Definitely everyone wants to avoid bad reaction, but we are not after good reaction as well, because even good is not good enough. So the only way to free ourselves from good and bad reaction, meaning to free ourselves from karmic entanglement, is by falling in a loving entanglement with Krishna. In love only there is no entangling. Or love, that entanglement is free giving, freedom. In loving entanglement with Krishna. Well, Krishna, those who fall in love with Krishna, it's a very heavy entanglement actually. It's a very dangerous entanglement. Once complete, like he becomes hopeless in a way. It's like such moroseness, or where am I stuck? One becomes stuck heavily. But then there is joy in that stuck. There's such joy in that stuck. So with Krishna, love is also entangling, but that entangling has its transcend, because it is transcendental, it has its sweet nature, sweet side. And in society, Love is so-called love. It's not that it is not love, but it is not good enough. It cannot saturate us. It is entangling only. In the name of service, it is a disservice. It appears that okay, good service, but no, actually it is a disservice. So we have to learn this art, how to work without attachment, without expectation of result. And where do we get the motivation? Natural motivation will come about when we have a strong relationship with Krishna, when we strive. And how do we get that strong relationship with Krishna? By having a strong relationship with Guru Maharaj, spiritual master, with devotees. Then Krishna consciousness will come more live, the teachings, the principles, the values. Then we will naturally be able to free ourselves from attachment and expectation of result and furthermore. So, living in this world, we are bound to do our duty. If someone has fallen in an ocean, can he or she expect not to get wet? Of course, we'll get wet. So, living in this world, we have to do our duty, but now do our duty without attachment, without material attachment, without any expectation of result. So, whatever we do as a matter of duty. Yes, we should be good, duty bound, we should not be negligent, should not be just casual, very careful. But our heart should be well towards Krishna. Our love should be towards Krishna. So we perform actions duty bound in this world, loving Krishna or wanting Krishna. That will purify our heart furthermore. And then we will understand more and more intricacies of practicing devotional service. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? Hmm?
How do we go back to the verse? Yeah, Krishna says this is his final opinion, that results should be performed as a matter of duty. But we're to understand that like Krishna Bhakti goes higher than duty.
Yeah. So final opinion is not like towards that this is the highest thing. Final opinion, that is my final opinion, as in these activities, sacrifice, penance, austerities, they should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. They should not be performed with expectation of results and with attachment. Until and unless we come to a stage of without attachment and without expectation of result, we can never come to a stage of loving Krishna. It is only from that stage we can start loving Krishna. So sannyas is the bare minimum. Sannyas is the minimum. Surrender is the minimum criteria, minimum requirement. It is not like surrender is the end. Surrender is just the beginning. That is just the beginning. So we all of us have to aim for that sannyas consciousness. What does that sannyas consciousness mean? It means same on those lines, working without attachment, without expectation of result, duty bound, no sense gratification, no desire for name, fame, that consciousness. Now that is everyone's responsibility. It is not just a sannyasi's responsibility. No. And see, one thing sure, death is going to strike all of us. And when it strikes, it is going to strike. It is not like, okay, it will come and take me and take, say, someone's partner also, husband or wife or children and mother and father. No. No one. At the time of death, no one will come to rescue. No one can help. other than one's intelligence, vivek. Other than one's intelligence, meaning spiritual intelligence, other than one's wisdom, one's sobriety. That is what is. So this life is given to us to train ourselves to become wise and do not live any otherwise. Let us read next. नियतस्य तु संन्यास कर्मणो नो पपद्यते मोहतस्य परित्यागस्तामस परिकीरित. Anujari translation purport.
Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Purport. Work for material satisfaction must be given up. But activities which promote one to spiritual activity, like cooking for the Supreme Lord and offering the food to the Lord and then accepting the food, are recommended. It is said that a person in the renounced order of life should not cook for himself. Cooking for oneself is prohibited, but cooking for the Supreme Lord is not prohibited. Similarly, a sannyasi may perform a marriage ceremony to help his disciple in the advancement of Krishna consciousness. If one renounces such activities, it is to be understood that he is acting in the mode of darkness. Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
We act very quick, no? Very quick. So very fast, quick to give it up. As I give it up, I give it up. Out of passion. Out of passion. So we should not be too hastily. Out of passion. Krishna again, no, 18th chapter is summarizing or giving the conclusion and summarizing things for Arjuna. So don't be so hasty in giving up your prescribed duties. And prescribed duties should never be given up. Now, Kali Yuga, there's pretty much hodgepodge. But in Vedic life, Vedic style, 4 varnas and 4 ashram. Ashrams, we know, Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, Sannyasa ashram, and 4 varnas. What? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So, even though a faulty Brahmana, say imperfect Brahmana, but he should not take up other occupation and he should not give up his Brahminical occupation. So prescribed duties, they should not. So Arjuna, for him, it was the prescribed duty was to fight only for him, and he should not give that up. He should not renounce that. That will bring infamy only. That will bring chaos only in society. That will send wrong message. That will create more and more confusion. And this is what we experience in Kali Yuga: confusion, chaos. See, such a irony, na? Worldwide, not just like in India, Asia, or Europe, America, South America, and all, no, worldwide. What irony? People take into school, fine, then college, university, but they do not know what should I study, what would I like to study, and then they will study as well, and then oh, fine, now I want to do a job, look for a job. The job doesn't match with studies. What we studied and what we work, very many times very different, very very different. And while working also, well, I did not study for this, or I did not want to do this job. I did not sign up for this job. But what to do? No option, no nothing left. Continue with it. There are many who then quit and don't know that what actually I want in life in terms of studies and other things. Because we never try to understand ourselves and we are very externally driven. Never try to really understand ourselves and externally driven. And whenever externally driven, frustration will come about. And in frustration, either we will want to grab something or we want to quit something in frustration. So these are not the symptoms of a sadhaka who is more wise, who is wise or who is wanting to be wise. You know, we are not here to either quickly decline something or quickly grab something. No? And practice of Krishna consciousness is not like a race. It is not like a race. We are against, time is against us, yes. Time is our, we are in a, say, race with time, time is against us. But still there's no like, having said the pressure should be there, but it's not like, okay, if that's the end of it. Thing is, now Arjuna, no, he's about relishing. He's relaxed. Listening to Krishna, he's very relaxed now. And he's relishing this dialogue. His fears are getting settled, his fears are getting released, his fears are getting uh, through altogether. So, what is the rush? Or we should not be very impatient or rushing. Just we need to finalize our destination. Work on the destination. What is my destination? Always remembering our destination. Who am I? Whose am I? And naturally working on it. Naturally. More and more. We'll attain Krishna Loka. If not this life, next life. If not next, another life. Yes, we would desire to not prolong it. We want absolute consciousness. That is what we want to aim, we want, desire to have. What? Absolute consciousness. So absolute consciousness we want to have. And if we make it in this life, then yes, that is spiritual world for us. Then we are in one goal, one aim, one mission only, na, to serve unconditionally, to love unconditionally. That can be done anywhere, in Bolivia or Panama or Aberdeen or wherever. Who is stopping us? No one is stopping us. Only our mind, our weakness of heart, our asatsang, temporary material association, asatsang, that leads to all of this. And the solution is what? Taking devotee association. And now, see, with this blessings of technology, that there is Zoom is there, YouTube is there. So devotees make good use of them, all of this, to expatiate Krishna consciousness. So all, wherever like, we need to work on our desires. Then arrangements is all there. All arrangements are there. Krishna is all capable, na? He can do everything for everyone. Only Krishna has the capacity to reciprocate with all of us same time, simultaneously, at an individual level, say. So he knows us in and out. and He's going to give us what we want only. Actually, in before finding our resolve in Krishna consciousness, He will give us, say, what we want, what we ask for. But once we start practicing Krishna consciousness, find our resolve, then He will give us what we need, not what we want. We may be wanting something, but Krishna will check, okay, is it good for him or not? If not, He won't provide. This is the stage before initiation. Then it's like, okay, I do service this for Krishna. Krishna, this will please you. I will do this for you. And after initiation, one should act like this. That okay, spiritual master knows what Krishna wants. Before initiation, one may think, okay, this is what Krishna wants, I will do this for Krishna. And after initiation, spiritual master knows what Krishna wants, so you do this for Krishna. And the beauty of being authorized, just only Krishna wants that. Can you bring a recommendation? Can you bring just one reference? Just one reference. If we can find one person in this world with whom we have no problem, just one person. Look, in Kali Yuga we are blessed, it's a huge population, people say, right? Growing population, huge population, 8.3 billion or how much? Now in 8 plus billion, just find one person with whom you have no problem. Uh, Husband and wife also. This is what Pati Parmeshwar, when we see in Vedic life, or uh, wife, if she has no problem with the husband, if she serves her husband as she would serve God, better than the best of her, better than the best of her, then Krishna is not far. Then Krishna Yogmaya will say, oh wow, if you can serve this person with such dearness, better than the best of you, then you should be okay to serve Krishna also. So just one person whom we can love more than I love myself. Just find out that one person with whom I have no problem, no fault. Sometimes we have fault with us ourselves also, right? We find problems with ourselves. We do not go well with ourselves. Why? Because our mind, intelligence, they are all in different directions. But if we can find one person with whom we have no fault, with whom we go along very well, that will give clarity in our mind a lot. That okay, I may have to go to go to America or go to Japan. And if we authorize no, go to Canada, neither America nor Japan. Clear, job done. Fine. And that is faith, that is relationship which will come about when we associate with devotees. Actually, Krishna consciousness, it is like a cult only, but pure cult, nothing like exploitation. Krishna consciousness is what? Following a devotee is Krishna consciousness. So in that sense, yes, it is like a cult. We follow a devotee. But look at the person whom we follow. Perfect person we follow. A gentleman altogether. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? Let us see one more, maybe last for today. दुःखमिति एव यत्कर्म क्याय क्लेशभयात् त्यजेत् स कृत्वा राजसं त्यागं नैव त्यागफलं लभेत्. Gopal, read.
Okay.
Anyone who gives up described duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. Purport. One who is in Krishna consciousness should not give up earning money out of fear that he is performing furtive activities. If by working one can engage his money in Krishna consciousness, or if by raising early in the morning one can advise his transcendental Krishna consciousness, one should not desist out of fear or because such activities are considered troublesome. Such renunciation is in the mode of patience. The result of patient work is always miserable. If a person renounces work in that spirit, he never gets the results of renunciation.
Anujari translation.
Anyone who give up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of patience. Such activity never leads to the elevation of renunciation.
What is the difference between renunciation and escapism? Renunciation is one thing and escaping is another thing. You know? Generally, when I'm frustrated, I want to escape, not renounce. Renunciation means what? That sense enjoyment, that object is there, but I have transcended. I have come over. I have elevated. Just like says some common example, growing up we all used to play some sports or sort of sport game, right? But now we do not take so much delight in them sports. We have grown up. Hmm? We do not play any more of their sports and all. So renunciation is what that object is there. Sense enjoyment is there. But now I'm through. I don't want it. I'm over it. I've had it. No, it doesn't appeal. It does not excite. And escapism means what? Okay, run away. Run away from responsibility. Run away from responsibility. Run away from accountability. That is not a gentleman's behavior. That is not a respectable, gentle person's behavior to run away. And practicing Krishna consciousness, we try to take the challenges of life head on. What are the real challenges of life? Birth, death, old age, disease, apart from the threefold miseries, which include what? Which are some miseries, difficulties caused by our own mind and own body. Our mind gives us problem, our body gives us problem. Then miseries, difficulties, pain, struggle, hardship caused by other living entities, hmm, neighbors, friends, family members. So we never have a problem with strangers. Do we have a problem with strangers? No. It is those who we know we have problems with them only. A bit of an irony, right? Those who are our friends, family and all, we have problem with them only. Then miseries, troubles, hardships caused by higher forces, natural forces, like too much of rain, too less rain, too much heat, too less heat, all these things. These are the challenges of life. And if we do not deal, if we do not address, if we do not speak on this, if we do not look into the root cause, then we are escaping only. It's like if we close the eyes, that does not mean that the problem has disappeared. No, problem is still there. And problems will be there. We have to grow above. We have to go above. We have to transcend them. Problems are there, will be there. And this will come when we have a higher vision, a higher taste, higher purpose, when we are experiencing some joy, some real substance in life. Everyone is fearful of death. Everyone. Everyone is fearful of old age, death. It is a natural time bomb, say, death. Uh, Everyone worries. Worries what? Okay, everything I have collected will stay here. Wow, I will lose everything. Uh, I will be lost of everything. And what God knows what will happen after that. Where will I go? What will happen to me? And this hard labor I have done will go. Another fear is what? So these are two kinds of fear. That I will be lost. Everything will be separated from me. Another, what will happen to me after that? Where will I go? What will happen to me? And another fear, what? What will happen to those who are dependent on me? And all these considerations come because of lack of faith in Krishna. 500 years back also there was some empire and all. Some person passed away. What happened? Nothing. Things move on, things go on. Nothing. For us also, who will look after say parents, who will look after children, who will look after shop, who will look after buildings and all properties. Everyone will be, everyone and everything will be taken care of. See, no one is unfairly treated. Everyone, we all are uh, have come with our own fortune or misfortune. So we all are getting the due fair share. So what is going to come is going to come. Why do we worry much about it? And what is in our hand is to make no more karmas. That is definitely in our hand. We have been making karmas since eternity. But from now on, no more karma, no more action. That will come when love, out of love. Suppose we go to a restaurant, say, to eat, and we may have less money or no money. But somehow, if the owner or the manager is, we happen to be in a loving relationship, a friendly relationship and all, then still we might have eaten and he may not charge us. So it is love is the only solution. Love is the only proper solution. So when we are driven by love, when we act out of love, when we are caused by love, and the effect of whatever we do is it if it is to invoke more love, then what we will receive is love only, no more karmas. No. And for us practicing devotees, the only thing is now from now on till whatever breaths I have left, can I be patient? Can I be tolerant? Can I be peaceful? Just that much is required. And if we have good association, then all this wouldn't really matter. No. Because we will be driven by a higher vision, a higher purpose. When driven by a higher vision, a higher purpose, all such considerations will settle down. We need lots and lots of introspection, knowledge, educating ourselves. Lots and lots of educating ourselves. And none of us can consider, okay, that, well, whatever time we started practicing devotional services, someone started practicing at the age of 5. Can we say, oh, well, you started at an early age? Whenever one starts, one should realize, oh, I'm starting late only. This is never early. At the age of 5, at the age of 10, at the age of 20, 30, 40, 50, I've started late. But it is never too late. Even though age of 70, still not so late. That hope is always there. Otherwise, how can we live without hope then? Hope is there for a 99-year-old person as well. For 99 years, say one need not be Krishna conscious. But even after 99, one can be Krishna conscious. That hope is there, that opportunity, that scope, that availability is always there. Now, what is left is the desire to come to it. And how will that desire manifest, which is hidden there? When we come across someone who is desirous or hearing from him, the desire comes. Just like we see now in world, okay, desire to go to America or travel places. How when we hear from media and sources, it rubs off on us, no? So likewise, this desire to see Krishna will also rub off on us. We would want to carry the desire, have the desire when we keep good company. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? Okay, then we give it a pause here, give it a rest here, say. We'll continue tomorrow from 18th chapter, text 9 onwards. Tomorrow we will see. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for your patient listening and kind attention. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.